Okay, this is part 2 of the latest Witch. Looking head on. Now we've added a gonk to this picture while we were away, just to give it a bit of variety. And like I said, these are just a bit of fun. I mean, if you want to have a go at drawing these, you can. If you don't, that's also fine. There you go. I don't your best to be a teacher in any way, really. All I can do is tell you what I know, or what I picked up over the years drawing these little things. And I've gleaned most of that from watching other people draw cartoons, or looking at other people's cartoons. Now the thing about cartooning, really, especially if you want to do like a cartoon strip, really, which you're going to have to use to draw the same character on more than one occasion, it's best to keep them relatively simple, because the most famous characters are incredibly simply drawn. Just a few lines. We'll do that one day. We'll actually I'll see what I can do. We can see if we can do a picture using as fewer lines as possible. See what we can come up with. Might be a bit of fun during the lockdown. Now, if you do like these videos that I do, and my random ramblings, it'd be lovely if you would subscribe. That would be wonderful. I would much appreciate it. And you can also, if you want to, join me on my Facebook page, which is Mark Rowe Art. Also would be very nice. I like meeting new people. That's what it's all about. There we are. So what we're going to do now, I mean, these pictures you can play around with to your heart's content. Now, I think what we're going to do is put another witch in around about over here. What do you think? So, if we just roughly draw where we're going to put the hat, so we can get some idea. And we're going to have the hat going the same way as this one. Doesn't really matter how you do these. Either side, simply up to you. Now, there we go. Now, this witch is not going to be so rotund, so to speak. And we're going to put the nose in about there, I think. And again, smiling face. And we're going to do rather a longer face on this one, like so. So that gives you the rough idea. And this one will have a neck to go to there. Maybe bring the shoulders up just a fraction, like that. and have her armour coming out. There, that comes down to there. That one's going to go to there, and again with a little body coming down to here. I'll go round like so. How about that? That for number 2 witch. And I think that's alright. And of course she'll have a belt, because they got to have a belt. Oh yes, got to have a belt. And her little purse that I drew the other one could be over here. I'm going to add this, I'm going to make this darker in a minute. Let's just get some of a... Now I think what we're going to do with this one, her hand's going to come down to about here. Like so. Now her hand will come up maybe something like that. And the thumb would come round like that. And the rest of her fingers would come round like that, if she was holding something. And she's going to be holding a wand, I think. Which is just a stick. I think we're going to put a leaf on the end of this wand. There we go. How about that? No, we don't want to put a star or anything on the end, because that's the sort of one that the fairy godmother has. And these witches are not fairy godmothers. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. I tend to sort of mix only with the good ones. I've had dealings with the bad ones, but usually in a very minor support role with Merlin when he has a bit of a confrontation with one. And I don't tend to get involved in that too much, because not having any magic of my own, like I said before, that way madness lies. You get involved in a witch's wizard's duel and you could be in a spot of bother. I don't know, you don't need me to tell you that. I mean, you've seen all the Harry Potter films, I would imagine. Good old Harry. Now, I've never met Harry Potter. He tends to sort of, and all that crew, they all live in a completely different part of the world than we all live in. I think Merlin probably knows him, but then Merlin probably knows everybody. Yeah, if you don't know you, he's not really, you're not worth knowing, I think. That's what he says anyway. But, which I suppose is a bit mean, really. Because some people meet Merlin and don't even know they met Merlin. I mean, that happens a lot. Because, I mean, when he's travelling about, he doesn't always look like he did in the picture I did yesterday. I mean, that would be crazy. We don't want none of that, do we? Walking around in tall, pointed hats, giving the game away. No siree, none of that, thank you very much. That would cause more trouble than it's worth. I have to answer all sorts of questions. And dear old human beings have got a habit of burning these characters for some bizarre reason. Usually, ignorance and jealousy has to be said. Because most of the witches I know are just good people that do good things to help others. But people don't seem to like that sometimes. I don't know why. Jealousy, like I said. Well, I mean, who wouldn't be jealous of somebody who fly around on a broom and do magic? There are many magical creatures that pass through our world from time to time. Most people, has to be said, are so wrapped up in their own little daily lives that they don't tend to notice them, which I find incredibly sad, because we probably wouldn't be where we are in all this mess in the world. Oh, I'm not talking just about the coronavirus. If everybody had a bit more magic in their lives, it would be nice, wouldn't it? I think so. Especially right now. Now then, I'm going to move this around a bit. It just makes it easier. No other reason than that, because we want to do these. Now, if you're going to do this sort of kind of pencil shading, don't press too hard. The thing about pencils, I like drawing with pencils. If you want to make your line darker to stand out, you can always go over it again. But if you press hard the first time, it makes it harder if you have to rub it out to do so if you get something in the wrong place, which can happen. Happens to me all the time, and you don't really want to mess around with, well, it's not a question of messing about, I suppose. It's a question that if you get to the point of no return, it's just start again. Simple as that. I quite often start again. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Sometimes the picture will get away from you. Sometimes they do. Now then, let's get this witch's hat done here. There we are. Just above the nose. Just above the nose, like so. There we are. Bring that down here like that. Just rub up. There you go. That line there. Now then. See what we can do here. Got quite a pointed chin on the old girl now. She seems happy enough though. You're going to bring some hair out here. You're going to have a mad hair day. Well, you got to. You can't get your hair done. Can't get your hair done at the moment. So you got to make do what you got. Well, long hair will be alright with it. Just put a couple of ribbons in it. As my dad used to say to me back in the 70s. That was a very sad day for my dad when he lost control of my hair. Up until then, see, it was down. There was a chap you used to go to called Len Parsons. He used to cut his hair at a place up in the road called Coronation, Avenue, I suppose, Coronation Avenue. God, now, been gone a long time. Dear old Len. I used to know his son Rick, very nice chap. Good drinking buddy of mine, Rick was, back in the day, before we all moved on our separate ways. I spoke to him a few years ago. Haven't seen him for a while. That's what happens, unfortunately. If you're not careful, you can lose touch with people, which is a shame. That's why I like the old Facebook thing. That's enabled me to catch up with a lot of people that I missed dearly from the old days. Quite recently, actually, caught up with some really nice people that I used to know. And we're chatting away on Facebook now. Of course, we can't visit each other at the moment because the whole world's on shutdown. But I think that might be lifting one day. And then we'll all have to have a big party, won't we? But not yet. Let's not get carried away. As I said the other day, if your parachute opens, you don't undo the harness until you're on the ground, do you? No, you don't. Anyway, you don't need me to go on about things like that. We're here for different reasons. You've got all the chaps on the telly telling you all about that sort of thing. And I don't know, to be honest with you, where all these experts come from. Because every day I turn on the television, there's another expert saying something else. And I don't know where they all come from. But there seems to be a lot of them. And they all seem to have ologies after their names, and I never got an ology after my name. Now, I went to college, but I was a bit like Rumpelstiltskin. I learned to be a tailor, to make clothes. Not that I ever sat cross-legged on a table stitching away like he did, but and of course he was more at the spinning gold end of the business. Now, that's a skill that would be handy, but then again, what am I going to spin gold on at the moment? See, you can't, can you? Now this is coming on, isn't it? Nicely now. We've got two witches here. Two witches. And I'm not going to do a lot more to this. Let's just... we better give this witch some legs, I think. Don't you think? If we bring one in from there, what do you think? And we don't want to make her bow-legged because she hadn't ridden a horse for years. But there we are. One of her foots coming out like that. Put some hoops around these. I know what I was going to tell you guys. Now, I know if you've watched videos of mine before, you know that I live with about 500 goblins in my house. And that was the last count. I don't know how many's there now. Anyway, yesterday, they were watching Amazon Prime. Because they're affected by this lockdown. Like everybody else is. I mean, they can go out and they won't catch this virus. because they're goblins. Because nothing else is open. So they have to sort of stay indoors like the rest of us. Anyway, yesterday, they were in my lounge watching Amazon Prime on the telly. And they were watching, I thought it was a comedy to start with, and I think it probably is what they call in the trade a dark comedy. But it was young Warwick Davis. Now, do you remember Warwick Davis? He was in Willow. And I think he does a TV program in the afternoons now. But in a former incarnation, he was the Leprechaun. Well, they've just put the Leprechaun films on to Amazon Prime. Well, they're on my Amazon Prime anyway. And those goblins thought that was hysterical. And so did the Gonks, because the Gonks were there watching. And I think Edith and the chickens were there. And they were, I think it was 3 or 4 of these films they watched yesterday. I was too busy really, so, but I will have a view, because I do know a few leprechauns, but luckily they're nice friendly ones, and I don't ever ask them for any wishes or anything, because it's not very nice to take advantage of your friends like that, is it? And that's really usually when things start to go wrong, when you start getting greedy and wanting things, because that's the biggest problem they have, is people pinching their crops of gold. Now they're getting a bit worried because all these rainbows that are cropping up everywhere. You see, that's where you will find the crock of gold is at the bottom of a rainbow. So they say. I don't know, I've never looked, but that's what they say. Anyway, there you are. There's a couple more witches. We better put a hand up here. And we better put the broom in, I think, before I go. Don't you think? Because it's not going to take 5 seconds to do that. No, there we are. There's the broom handle coming up. Like so. And we're going to do a matching twig sticking up with a leaf on it. And then we could say that this particular witch got a matching pair, didn't she? But I mean, you could, well, I would normally, but it's time. You can add all sorts of wonderful things to these drawings if you want. Just keep going, really. And just add more and more detail. And you can add more characters if you want. If you're going to add more characters, you really, like I did, want to work out where your main protagonists are going to be, and then just add the rest in and around. Like you could draw figs behind to build up quite a crowd. I might even do that, I don't know. Anyway, you take care now, and I'll hopefully see you again. This is Mark saying goodbye. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye for now.